The silent epidemic, male loneliness. This video is not only for men. This video completes its purpose only when it reaches women. Let me ask you something. You can have a job, you can have food, you can have people around you, and still feel empty. Do you ever feel hollow inside? Do you feel meaningless even when life looks fine? Do you feel like you're unable to do what you know you should be doing? If yes, this video is for you. Before we begin, I want to say one thing clearly. I spent weeks researching this topic, psychology, neuroscience, sociology, and still, perspectives may change. Your interpretation may be different from mine, and that's okay, because this is not about winning an argument. This is about understanding a problem that has been growing silently for more than 30 years, and almost nobody wants to talk about it. The problem no one names. For thousands of years, men had a clear role: provider, protector, builder, fixer. That role wasn't perfect, but it gave structure, identity, and meaning. In the modern world, many of those contributions are no longer required in the same way. Technology replaced labor. Systems replaced community. Convenience replaced responsibility. At the same time, social media began defining value through attention, appearance, status, comparison, and men were quietly left asking a dangerous question: what am I actually useful for anymore? No one teaches men how to process that question. They are just told, man up, be strong, don't complain, so they stay silent. Loneliness does not equal being alone. Let's be very clear about something. Loneliness does not mean being alone. You can be surrounded by people and still be lonely. Loneliness means no emotional safety, no one to speak honestly with, no place to be weak without consequences. A man can have a friend group. A man can have co-workers. A man can even have a relationship. But if he has no emotional support, he is lonely. And loneliness kills slowly. From the 1990s to 2025, studies show that the percentage of men who say they have close friends has dropped significantly, by around 15% or more depending on region. In Japan, this took a visible form. They call it Hikikomori, people who withdraw completely from society for months or years. Most of them are men. Closed doors, dark rooms, no contact. In China, there are documented cases of men dying alone, sometimes discovered weeks or months later, not because they were poor, but because they were disconnected. These are not dramatic stories, they are quiet ones, and that's what makes them terrifying. Why men don't talk. Here is something uncomfortable but important. When women share insecurity, loneliness, or self-doubt, they are usually met with empathy. Friends listen. Feelings are validated. When men share the same emotions, they are often met with silence, jokes, dismissal, or fear that they look weak. So men learn a rule very early: if I speak, I lose respect. This doesn't mean women don't suffer. They do. But the coping mechanisms are different. Men internalize, women externalize. Neither is perfect, but one is far more dangerous long-term. Addiction is a symptom, not the cause. Why are men more likely to fall into substance addiction, pornography, gambling, endless scrolling, self-destructive habits? Because dopamine becomes a replacement for connection. A man drinking with friends can recover. A man drinking alone at 7 a.m. cannot. The real danger is not the substance, it's the silence. And here, as the part most people misunderstand, many men don't hate women. They hate themselves. That self-hatred. It gets projected outward. And yes, when there is a problem, there is always a marketplace, courses, influencers, ideologies that monetize wounded men. Not because all creators are evil, but because pain creates demand. Relationships in the modern world. In the past, men and women met through schools, colleges, workplaces, public spaces, shared communities. Today, many of those are replaced by dating apps, algorithms, online validation systems. These systems reward surface traits, instant attraction, constant comparison. They are terrible at building emotional safety. When men lack emotional education, and women are overwhelmed by options, without depth, both sides lose. This is not a gender war. It is a system problem. The part most people ignore. Here is the truth that changed my life. I didn't recover from loneliness because I became alpha. I didn't recover because I earned more money. I didn't recover because I proved something to the world. I recovered because one woman listened, not fixed me, not saved me, just listened. Men don't need someone to pay their rent. They don't need someone to solve their loans. They don't need someone to carry their burden. They need presence. What we actually need, if you're a man watching this, Learn to speak before you explode. Strength is not silence, it's regulation. Find one safe person. Just one. If you're a woman watching this, you don't need to agree with everything men feel. You don't need to fix them. Just listening can save a life. If you're a parent, when your child speaks, don't dismiss it. Emotional neglect doesn't look violent, but it scars deeply. Male loneliness is not trending. It's not loud. It doesn't protest. It just disappears people. If we don't talk about this now, the next generation will suffer silently too. This channel is not about blaming. It's about understanding before it's too late. If this video made you think differently, if it helped you understand yourself or someone you care about, subscribe, not for motivation, not for hype, but for conversations most people are afraid to have. You're not weak for feeling this way. You're human, and humans heal together.